I would imagine that most people at least once in their lives had the dream of finding treasure, grabbing the shovel from the garage and going out into the backyard and then digging a bunch of holes, hoping to God you find something worth a lot of money, only to eventually come back inside and get your tushy whooped by your parents for digging a bunch of fucking holes. But eventually we all give up on that dream except for a few individuals who decide to actually pursue it and make it a career. George Ridgway is an archaeologist from Great Britain who recently made a very interesting discovery when it comes to coin collecting. Now, personally, I like old stuff. It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be books, swords, clay pots, coins, but currency in particular, I tend to have a little bit more of an interest in. I just find it fascinating to imagine the people who lived a long time ago using these hand-pressed coins and what they could have used them for. Why were they dropped? Why are they here? Why are they just scattered around in a forest on the ground? Just random places. I don't know. I might be some kind of psychological disorder wrong with me, but you know. But going back to George here, he didn't just find a couple of old coins. He found 748 gold and silver Roman coins, estimating to be worth around 75,000 pounds. Now, I don't really know what that is in USD, but we can all probably agree that that is a pretty hefty bag. It's also worth mentioning here that he didn't just find this like scoping around in his backyard with a metal detector. With his highly trained archaeological eyeballs, he was able to investigate an unusual crop mark in a nearby barley field. Now, I don't know if we're talking like ancient alien crop markings or whatever, but it's worth mentioning that he knew that there was a old Roman road that was very close to the field, and then eventually just put two to two together and then started metal detectoring around the area. And over the course of just 2 hours of looking in this area, he found 160 Roman coins dating back to around like 46 BC, which is some super old stuff. Now, I don't know how this normally would work, but he contacted one of the major museums over there to help him with his investigation. Now, I'm not really sure if he had to do that or if it's like, hey, this is mandatory for someone who is digging and finds something related to old pots or architecture. If my memory serves me correctly, I think it's either A, like human remains, B, something that people have made a long time ago, like arrowheads or clothing or just anything related to something that someone has made. I think you have to contact a museum and have them come investigate. But nonetheless, after the museum came with their grubby little fingers, it took around 3 months to fully excavate the site. And after everything was said and done, the museum decided to partake in the treasure by taking some back to probably just put on some of the exhibits that they have out there. And because he didn't find it on his land, he did have to split the money with the landowner, which I mean it is fair, to be honest. I mean, they did kind of stay on his land digging a shit ton of holes for 3 months, so you know, I would probably want some sort of compensation as well, but it is to be expected. I also just found it very funny that in the article that I read, it also stated that the first thing that he was going to do with the money was buy his dad a pint, which I don't know, I just found it extremely hilarious. But I mean, I guess after like a haul like that and after 3 months of work, it's probably time to celebrate. But I can only imagine the look on his face and the excitement he must have gotten after he picked up that first coin, because normally when you're metal detecting, most of the time it's going to be crap. It's going to be like loose pieces of metal, nails, bottle caps, things of that nature, maybe like some cans, just random crappy pieces of metal. I can only imagine the excitement on his face after he picked up that first coin, because I know, by God, that would just drive me through the roof. I mean, that must have been just a crazy cool experience to must have, because now it stated in the article that it was like the biggest find in either like that area or like Great Britain, one or the other, but it was like a very big discovery, which is very cool. And I don't know for most people, but I find that kind of thing cool to go and do. I would like to go out there with a very expensive metal detector and, you know, probably not find shit, but at least I would hopefully have a good experience. Maybe I'm doing it with a couple of friends or something, I don't know, but you know, it's worth trying at least once, doing it like professionally in an area where you know something might be because of an old Roman road or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I just saw an article pop up in my feed and I saw coins and I was like, oh my God, I like coins. Clicked on it and then read it and thought it was pretty interesting, so I decided to share it. So yeah, but that's all I got for you guys. See ya.